Morning, guys. Not looking too great today, but like I said, that's the point of the YouTube channel. Since I've been a breast milk donor for 17 months, I wanted to do a video of probably the last time I'm ever going to pump and bag milk. After I was a surrogate mother, I started donating to a milk bank specifically for surrogates who made a human milk fortifier for micropreemies and the NICU. And then when we lost our son in June of this year, I continued to pump and donate, and that milk bank actually moved me over to a different part of their company who works with what they like to call regular moms. My husband's trying to sneak around. He looks a lot better than I do this morning. I don't know why he's hiding. Anyway, so since this is probably one of the last times I'm going to pump, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how I label and store my milk. And then I'll do another video when I pack my very last breast milk cooler for the milk bank. Probably that will be Monday, since my cooler is supposed to get here today. We'll go over all that stuff with packing milk then. Okay, so I'm going to put you down. Okay, hopefully you can kind of see, I've got lots of pump parts in the sink here left over. These Land Snow bags are just terrible. These are the new ones. These are supposed to be new and improved, and they're just not. I could go on about these bags versus the old style bags for, oh my gosh, like 15 minutes. And I'm sure that lots of exclusive pumpers could. These are definitely not my favorite ones. As you saw, I had the tear off. The top tears off here into a piece. Oh my gosh, I have Play-Doh under my fingernails from yesterday, you guys. And then they don't just open like the old bags would. They're like connected still at the top. You have to like break them open again. And with the milk bank, they're so particular. You can't put your hands on the inside here. So lots of donors will like try to open them like chip bags here. That way our fingers are never on the inside. I put my fingers on the inside of this one, so I'm gonna not use this one. But they're really hard to get open. I am going to use probably four bags for this breast milk that I just pumped. This was my morning pump. It's about, my goodness, 11 and 8, 19 ounces, I would say probably. These are the 8-ounce Medela bottles. I pump with a Medela Symphony. So I have all Medela attachments. My sink is already super full of hot soapy water. So I'm going to break these pieces apart and toss them right in the sink to be scrubbed later. And then once I sterilize them, they're going right into a storage Tupperware in my basement. So if I do another journey, I have all these pump parts ready for me down there. Okay. Before I really touch my milk, I'm going to actually pause and wash my hands really well, because I fiddled with my iPad first. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm going to get another bottle out because I like to use a third bottle to help me separate. This one's 8, so that can go in 4 and 4, no problem. I'm probably going to break this bottle up. It'll probably be about 5 and 6. Yep, 5 and 6. I don't want a 5, a 6, and 2 4s. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here with these. First, since I opened these bags the proper way, I'm going to go ahead and label them. See if I can get somewhere you can kind of see me a little bit. And then I'm not going to put my donor number on here I don't think we're supposed to share that. So I'm just going to go ahead and write the date on all of my bags I'm going to use. And then I know that this one is 5 ounces. I'm going to bag that first. I hold it open, pour my milk in, and I'm a huge jiggler. It has to get all the milk out. I usually tap it on the counter even a few times, like this. I really want to make sure all the milk in this bottle. Do you see that there's still some in there? It's just going to be drops, but I want those drops for those babies. And this is going to be tricky to show you. Okay, I put it up against the counter, and I'm just going to press until the milk comes to the top of the lip and seal. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead, since I don't want that 6 ounces in a bag. These bags cannot handle 6 ounces. They just can't. The old Medela bags, 6 ounces, I would totally go for it. But I can't do that with these new ones. The sides are reinforced. If you put less than 4 ounces in one of these bags, they get all crunchy when they're freezing flat. They don't freeze flat very well at all. So here's another 5. If you put too much in, they're just going to leak. I've actually heard lots of stories about these new bags, the new and improved, reinforced bags, like leaking terribly for people. It's 5 ounces. And then this one's going to be 4 and 5. So I'll end up with 19 ounces, just like I estimated from the beginning. I think when you've been an exclusive pumper as long as I have, you really understand exactly how many drops of milk that you can fit in one of these bottles. Pretty good at estimating. I'm going to try to get a little bit more out of this one, and then I'm done with it. Into the sink it goes. And close it up. Dad's downstairs.
What are you doing?
I'm making a video.
Oh.
Alright, done. Yep, of me. Done. Okay, so what I'm left with... Thanks for your help, babe. So what I'm left with... I have 3 5s and a 4. And Andy, my daughter's trying to help me out here. They'll be in some videos later. I'm going to go ahead and write my donor number on these, and then I'm going to show you how I put them in the freezer and organize the rest of my breast milk. So, bye. Okay, so here is my milk from yesterday, frozen. I like to freeze them really flat. I put them in freezer bags. The milk I pumped in a day used to fill up a freezer bag, and then I would have it stacked horizontally the rest of the way up in the bag, and I could never get them closed. But I am in the weaning process. I have some other big adventures that are going to come up in my life in the next few months that we're going to be talking about a lot, and I hope that you follow me on those journeys too. So here we have the milk that we just bagged, and I forgot to write my donor number on there. So I want to do that before I put it in the freezer, because if you get a cold bag out, you cannot write on it very well. It's a huge pain. So I'm going to take another pause. Sorry, guys. Oh, I do want to say that I do keep track of what I pump per day in the app Milkmaid. So what I do is I look in my Milkmaid app, which I can't do because I'm actually on my husband's iPad right now, and my 5-year-old has my iPad watching YouTube videos. So I usually mark out, and then I write This is 37 ounces. That way when I pack my coolers, all I have to do is look here on the side of the bag. I don't need to refer back to my app for every day's worth of ounces. And then I understand how much I'm packing in each cooler. And I'm going to go all the way over here. Swoop. This is my calendar. When I pack a breast milk cooler, I put an X on the day and the amount of ounces that I think that I was able to pack in there. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and stop again. Label these. Okay. I don't want to leave my freezer open a long time. This is my upstairs fridge freezer. I have it on the very coldest setting to keep my milk bank approved here in the freezer. You're going to hear that this method is the cookie sheet method of freezing. Most people, gosh, I hope so. You're laying your milk down flat like this in the freezer to freeze. But see how these sides are all crinkly? These new Lean Sonoma bags, they just... Okay, I'm just not going to go on and on about how I don't like them. Okay, so I'm not going to use a cookie sheet. I'm going to use one of my kids' wooden puzzles because my freezer is kind of small-ish here. And then it kind of squishes it just enough to where it freezes actually super duper flat on both sides there. I have to close my freezer now, guys. Okay, now I'm down in my basement. This is my deep freezer. It used to be strictly for breast milk, but it's not anymore. I usually just set my bags in here per day. Let's see if I can get a good shot here of all my milk for you guys. Before there's milk under milk everywhere. So when I was producing about 100 ounces a day, I only needed to pump for a few days.